Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone to the regular scheduled meeting of the Cordova Recreation Board of Directors on Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. Time is 6:32.
Just push the button.
Let's go. Call to order.
Members of the public can view the meeting live on YouTube, and the link is posted on the agenda. Members of the public are hereby notified that meetings of the Board of Directors are recorded, and requests for video and audio recordings may be made to the clerk of the board. At this time, I'd like to welcome up Denise Daniel, Accounts Payable Clerk with the district, and after the pledge, CFO Matt Goodell will say a few words.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, don't go anywhere yet, Denise. Make you stand up there.
I thought you were kidding. I'm sorry.
No, do I ever joke?
Never.
All right, so about 2 years ago, almost to the day, right? It was December 2 years ago? Yeah. We met Denise. We were short-handed at that time for paying bills and invoices and claims, and we needed some help. So we reached out to a temp agency, and they found us Denise. And she quickly picked up on all our systems, our processes, our transactions. Been really wonderful. And it was evident after her 6-month temporary assignment was over that we needed to do something more permanent. So next budget cycle, we opened up the account clerk and onboarded Denise for full-time. And did she stop there? No. Since in the beginning, we were transitioning to move here, and she stepped up. Like, she was willing to put together boxes, file, wrap, tape, physically move boxes over here and everything. It was crazy how much she stepped up. She was the all-star of the move, barely even knowing this. And that kind of teamwork spirit is exactly what embodies what a CRPD employee does. Does she stop there? No. She decided to take a class and a test and officially become our CRPD notary for the district. Did she stop there? No. She decided to become our backup video tech person for board meetings. And so you're going to probably see more of Denise. So everyone, welcome Denise.
Thank you, Mr. Goodell. Let's move to item 2, standing action item, AB 2449.
Item 2, standing action item, AB 2449 request. This is the portion of the meeting where we deal with any requests to join remotely through AB 2449, and we received no requests, so we will list this as no action taken.
Thank you, ma'am. Can we move to roll call?
Director Irwin?
Here.
Director Mattis?
Here.
Secretary Langen?
Here.
Vice Chair Sloan?
Here.
Chair Ansel?
Here. Thank you. Let's move on to item B, comments by the public on non-agenda items.
Members of the public may address the board on topics within the district's jurisdiction that are not listed on this agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. It is a violation of state law for the board to discuss or take action on non-agenda items. Board members may only briefly ask clarifying questions or refer the matter to staff. And at this time, I have no requests.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's move on to item C, special item, November 5th, 2024, general election.
Item C1, adopt resolution 24/25-19, accepting the certificate of facts, Board of Directors, from the November 5th, 2024 general election.
Thank you, ma'am. Do I have any public comment on this item?
There is no public comment at this time.
Thank you. Do I have any comments or questions by the board? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Chair Danzel, I'll make the motion. I move the Board of Directors adopt Resolution 24/25-19, accepting the Certificate of Facts, Board of Directors, from the November 5th, 2024 general election.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Director Stewart, second by Secretary Langdon. Roll call vote.
Director Irwin?
Aye.
Director Mattis?
Aye.
Secretary Langen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Sloan?
Aye.
Chair Danzel?
Aye. Thank you. Let's move on to item C2.
Item C2, administer the oath of office. At this time, I welcome up each director one at a time to administer the oath of office at the podium. Board member guests are invited to join the oath of office ceremonies. We ask that you please hold your applause until the end, and after the oaths are complete, there will be a scheduled recess for congratulations and photo opportunities. First up, I'd like to welcome up Rick Sloan, and former Assemblyman Ken Cooley, who will be facilitating the oath of office.
My wife, Rebecca Sloan.
Sure. I think that angle is better.
Very good. I'm just going to offer a remark or two. The oath of office is essential to sort of how we conduct our public affairs. We all take the same oath of office, and it's really the foundation of our system of government. And so with that in mind, I want to remark that, let's see, today is the 18th of December. So in the life of this agency, the Cordova Recreation Park District, there have been 24,253 days in the life of this agency, which brings us to today. And the oath of office is the foundation for fidelity to the taxpayers, all the work that's done to keep every agency on track in its life. And since I was never of this agency, I was of the youthful city nearby, I will observe that the city of Rancho Cordova is not yet a third of the way along as this district. So, Rick, I have my notes, but I think I know this by heart. So please raise your right hand. Okay. And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Rick Sloan,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California.
I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
about which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Bless us all.
Very good.
You get that one?
Do it again, do it again.
Yeah.
You gotta linger. Let it linger.
I think that's another time. We're just being entertaining.
Congratulations. Next, I'd like to welcome up Michael Uritt and his wife Stephanie, who will be facilitating the oath of office.
He's going to make up the best.
Water was raised.
I know, how do you follow that?
Asking me to,
All right, here we
asking me
go.
to sign him.
I state your name,
I, Michael Yerwood,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California.
that I take this obligation freely
That I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of
or
evasion,
purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
duties upon which I'm about to enter.
duties upon I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Why, thank you. Do you want or whatever? Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, wait. All right.
And they're instructed.
Okay, you ready?
Take photos.
Congratulations. At this time, we're going to have a scheduled 15-minute recess for refreshments and congratulations in the lobby. And if I could have the board members stay here for some quick photos, that would be fantastic.
All of us?
Yes, please.
All 5 of us. Scheduled recess. And at this time, let's move on to item D, consent calendar.
Consent calendar items are considered administratively routine and will be acted upon in one motion unless separate action on a specific item is necessary. The chairperson will consider any requests for discussion on the items prior to approval of the consent calendar. This evening, we have 5 items for your consideration. Item D2 will need to be pulled for a separate vote as Directors Sohn and Langen were absent for the special meeting on December 3rd.
Thank you. Do I have any public on this?
There are no public comment at this time.
Is there any staff items that staff like to pull?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Any items that need to be pulled by the board? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve item D1, D3, D4, and D5?
Chair Danzel, I'll make the motion that we approve consent calendar items D1, D3, D4, and D5.
I have a motion by Director Yearwood. I have a second by
second that.
Vice Chair Sloan. Roll call vote.
Director Yearwood?
Aye.
Director Mattis?
Aye.
Secretary Langen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Sloan?
Aye.
Chair Danzel?
Aye. Thank you. Let's move on to item D2. Do I hear a motion to approve item D2?
Chair Danzel, I'll make the motion that we approve consent calendar item D2.
I have a motion by Director Yearwood. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion second by Director Mattis. Roll call vote.
Director Yearwood?
Aye.
Director Mattis?
Aye.
Secretary Langen?
Abstain.
Vice Chair Sloan?
Abstain.
Chair Danzel?
Aye. Motion passes. Item E is presentations. We have none. Item F is committee reports. Have none. Item G, public hearings. We have none. Let's move on to item H, regular calendar items.
Item H1, adopt Resolution 24/25-21, amending the full-time and part-time rate schedules as required by California Code of Regulations, Section 570.5. And I'd like to welcome up Human Resource Manager Andrea White.
In her amazing sweater.
That is nice.
Good evening, Chair Danzel and Board of Directors. I'm bringing an item forward. It's somewhat routine to amend our salary and wage scale for the increase of minimum wage. We also did, the board approved an adjustment to the general manager salary, and the general manager salary is required by the CalPERS to have it listed on our website and listed as a schedule, and so that also needs to be amended, and we figured we'd do this all at one time. So because the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, went up by 3.18%, the state of California decided that January 1st, the minimum wage should go up from $16 to $16.50 an hour for all employees in the state. So we are amending all of the positions that were at $16 to $16.50. The fiscal impact, we believe, and it always can be adjusted because it just depends on how many people we hire this summer, but we believe, based on our budget, it should go up by about $20,048, which is anticipated and budgeted for this fiscal year. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Ms. White. Do we have any public comment on this?
There's no public comment at this time.
Thank you. Director Yearwood, any questions?
None for me.
Director Mattis?
Yeah, I just actually have two. One's more of a request. Going forward with our board packets, can we get these pages that are landscape, that are in portrait, can we get those flipped so it's easier for us to read? Okay, thank you.
We can do that going forward.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because with Adobe, I got to pay for the Acrobat. I don't want to pay a subscription for that. The other thing too is I've had questions about the payroll. So this is, or the way that the titles and the scales work. So this is good. I'm glad I got to see this. So say like if somebody comes in titled X and their pay scale is A through F. So a new employee starts at A.
Typically, that's correct.
Okay. And then how does the employee go from A to B?
Full-time employees are required to go through an evaluation process, and they must have an evaluation that is satisfactory or better for them to move to the next step of the scale. It's very common for an employee to have their step increase annually. It's quite unusual for someone to not go to the next step of the scale. Part-time employees are a little bit different because you might have someone, let's say, who's a lifeguard who only works 3 or 4 months out of the year, so they don't necessarily go to the next step the following year because they haven't worked a full year. So with certain positions like lifeguards, it could depend on what types of certifications they have to where they qualify for either like a lifeguard or a senior guard and what step they're at. And so it's typical for, especially like year-round part-time employees, to be evaluated after 1,500 hours, and then they're eligible for an evaluation and the next step of the rating scale.
Okay, and then when somebody reaches F, then that's the max, right?
That's where they stop, except for our full-time employees here at the district, we have a longevity policy that if someone has been at the final step and they've been here full-time for 10 years, they start to hit the longevity, which is 1% a year. So no matter where, so let's say they start as a clerk and then they move up to an analyst, even if they're on step C, if they've been here for 10 years, they will start getting an additional 1% a year.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Sure.
Secretary Leahy?
Yeah, just one question. Just to clarify, with the part-time, getting the extra 50 cents, is it all part-time gets that, or is it just the ones that were at the 16?
That's a great question. Only the employees who are at the 16. That's
Okay.
correct. So what we have been doing for years, since minimum wage has gone up every year for years, that we alternate every other year. So last year, every position went up by the increment that minimum wage went up, 50 cents or $1. Then the following year, just the ones at the wage scale that's expired, that they'll go up. And then next year, if it goes up again, every single part-time employee. I'm sorry, not every single, there's the 2 positions, the highest paid positions, those have not been changed. Those we will probably do more of an evaluation of what other agencies are doing. They don't work very many hours, but all other positions have been increased with the minimum wage every other year.
Awesome, thank you.
And was this pay scale, was that, with that proposition that was on the ballot to make it $20 an hour, would that have affected us if that thing went through?
It absolutely would have, so
Really?
we watched that pretty closely. But regardless, the scale went up because of the CPI.
Well, yeah, 50 cents is better than $4.
Yes, that's quite a jump.
My question is, what's the ceiling on that minimum wage? Is it 20, 25? Is there?
There isn't.
There's no ceiling?
I don't believe so.
No. There's a minimum, but there's no maximum.
Right, that's correct.
Interesting. And I have no questions. Perfect. Do I hear a motion on this item?
I move the Board of Directors adopt a Resolution 24/25-21, amending the full-time and part-time salary and rate schedules as required by California Code of Regulations, Section 570, period 1, or 5, sorry.
I have a motion by Secretary Leahy. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Director Mattis. Roll call vote.
Director Yearwood?
Aye.
Director Mattis?
Aye.
Secretary Langen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Sloan?
Aye.
Chair Danzel?
Aye. Thank you. Let's move on to item H2.
Item H2, accept the annual comprehensive financial report for fiscal year 2023/2024 as independently audited and presented, and I'll turn it over to CFO Matt Goodell.
All right, so we're going to try something new and see if we can get the auditor on the call, video call. But I'll say a couple of things while that's transitioning. This is like our fastest turnaround when we've done this audit, and that's due to some pre-testing. The auditors came in early in June And so we got a lot of work done prior to the closeout of the year, so we'll turn around pretty fast. So that's great, and it also has a new look, and so it's not just audited financial statements, it's an annual comprehensive financial report, so it's a little more robust, has some more information and narrative, and hopefully some understandable information for stakeholders, board members, and constituents, so it's pretty awesome. And do we have Brett Jones, not 49er ex-tight end, but, yeah, I know, I was excited too about it, but no, he's just an auditor. You don't need Brett Jones?
He's not just an auditor, he's not just an auditor, he's the auditor.
Superstar auditor.
So you happen to be there, Brett?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect, there we go. Welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me join remotely. So as Matt mentioned, we performed, I was the engagement manager on the audit this year. We performed our audit and issued an unmodified opinion on the financial statements. And you can find our opinion on the first page. It'll state, in our opinion, the accompanying financial statements.
Sorry, can we pause for a second? Can we add volume to this conversation, please?
Is it just coming to the TV, maybe?
Try it now on your end, if you wouldn't mind.
Hello? Everybody hear me okay?
Sorry, guys, this is our first try for the video call, so we appreciate your patience on this.
Okay.
All right.
Hello?
Oh, there we go.
Everybody hear me okay?
We're in a tunnel.
Okay.
Turn that TV down.
Yeah, maybe the TV show.
Okay, let's try that.
Speak.
Okay. How's that sound?
No.
Can you guys hear him up there?
Okay, not great, but. So maybe if you scream at us, that might help.
Is the master volume on the PC up?
Is that any better?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bonus, yes. Okay.
Maybe the issue with my microphone. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, as I was saying,
Wait for a second. We lost you. It was all good when that thing was up.
that is the best opinion that we can give. Just briefly, I want to go over our responsibilities for the audit.
Where's the speaker?
Or to
Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Okay, let's try that.
Okay, how's that sound?
That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah. Let's go with it.
Okay, I'll be brief.
That's better.
Our responsibilities are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free, material in the statement, whether due to fraud or error. In performing an audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism. That is, we are independent of the district. We don't perform any management functions or make any management decisions. We identify risks and material in the statement, in the financial statements, and perform audits to perform procedures to address those risks. We obtain an understanding of the internal controls of the audit and report on any findings. We're pleased to report that we have none. We evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies used, and we conclude if there are any conditions or events that raise substantial doubt about the city's ability to continue as a going concern. Or districts, excuse me. That said, the audit went very well this year. We were able to conduct everything that we needed to. Matt was able to get us all of our requests. We had issued no findings or exceptions in the financial statements. So overall, it was a good process this year. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Thank you. Shelby, do we have any by the public?
We do not at this time.
Director Hurwood?
I don't have any questions, no.
Director Mattis?
Yes, on page 1382 of our board packet, it looked like our salaries and payroll was at 50% of our budget, of our expenditures. That went up 6% from last year. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, so it does look like there was an increase in salaries and benefits during the year. Maybe Matt could...
Yeah, so we did a total comp study that we implemented that year, and it brought it up about 5%. I think, looking at here, looks like it was about 6% higher than last year. Adjusting everyone's salaries, including the part-time and full-time.
Okay, is that something that we're looking at projections to keep going up because it looks like services?
We did, because we kind of did it where it wasn't, so if someone was in step D, they didn't necessarily go to step D in the new schedule. It was based on where they were salary-wise, so it could have brought them back to step A. So yeah, we probably could be seeing those 5% jumps every year until that catches up to step F. Correct.
And is that a concern with the audit, with the auditor? I mean, is that something for?
We budget for it every year, and so far, we're able to fit it in, so.
I mean, but is there a threshold to where it's gonna hit to a point where we're not gonna be able to do that?
That's never our intention, obviously, our operation
know.
expense, I know. So I think with the expectation of the growth that we have in our tax revenue, that we can meet that demand,
Okay.
is the expectation, yep.
Secretary Langen?
No questions.
Vice Chair Sloan? No questions. And I have no questions. Do I hear a motion?
I'll move the board, Chair Danzel, I'll move the board accept the annual comprehensive financial report for fiscal year 2023-2024 as independently audited and presented.
Thank you. I have a motion by Director Yearwood. Do I hear a second? I'll second it. I have a second by Vice Chair Sloan. Roll call vote.
Director Yearwood?
Aye.
Director Mattis?
Aye.
Secretary Langen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Sloan?
Aye.
Chair Danzel?
Aye. Motion passes. Let's move to item I. Thank you, Brett.
Item I-1, Board Officers, Appointments, Elections, Ad Hoc Committee Appointments. A, elect board officers for 2025, Chairperson, Vice Chairperson, and Secretary. Staff recommends that this process be done individually through 3 separate actions. Per board policy, board officer elections typically take place in December, and the board has historically implemented a system of rotation, but it is up to the discretion of the board. Officers serve for a period of 1 year, and the officer duties are listed in the staff report. There is no fiscal impact associated with these elections, as board officers do not receive additional compensation. And a quick logistical note, after the election of the board officers, the outgoing chairperson may pass the gavel to the incoming chairperson, and the incoming chairperson will then run the remainder of this meeting. The seating at the dais will change in January.
She did say may, so somebody might have to fight it out of my hands. Just joking. Do I hear any comments by the public at this time?
There are no comments at this time.
Thank you. We'll leave this up to the board. So at this time, we're looking for a new chairperson. Do I hear a nomination?
I nominate Director Rick Sloan to serve as a chairperson of the Board of Directors for a term of 1 year and until the election of a successor.
Thank you. I have a motion by Director Mattis for,
I'll second that.
I have a second by Director Yearwood. Roll call vote.
Director Yearwood?
Aye.
Director Mattis?
Aye.
Secretary Langen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Sloan?
Aye.
Chair Danzel?
Aye.
There's some hesitation there.
Do I hear? Not yet. Do I hear a nomination for vice chair?
I nominate Director Danny Langen to serve as the vice chair of the Board of Directors for a term of 1 year and until the election of a successor.
I have a motion by Director Mattis. Do I hear a second? I'll second that. I have a second by soon-to-be Chair Sloan. Roll call vote.
Director Yearwood?
Aye.
Director Mattis?
Aye.
Secretary Langen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Sloan?
Aye.
Chair Danzel?
Aye. Motion passes. Do I hear a nomination for secretary?
Chair Danzel, I nominate Director Mattis to serve as Secretary of the Board of Directors for a term of 1 year and until the election of a successor.
Thank you. I have a motion by Director
I'm
Gearwood.
still just a director.
Second.
I have a second by Secretary Lehman. Roll call vote.
Director Yearwood?
Aye.
Director Mattis?
Aye.
Secretary Langen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Sloan?
Aye.
Chair Danzel?
My last official act as chair. Aye.
But we don't, we just don't change seats.
We just don't change seats.
Our names are mixed up. Right?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
No, I'd like to have a recess for some more cake.
Your family took it all.
So I think we're heading into Board of Directors items, correct?
Correct.
And we're doing board reports.
Item I2, board member reports. There's no training to report, so we can move on to the community activities report.
Okay. And that is on page 185. So we'll start down at the bottom there, Director Yearwood.
Shouldn't we start with Director Danzel? Just kidding. Okay, let's see here. What did a little light month, but on December 1st, I headed over to the Village Green to attend the Cordova Community Council's annual Christmas tree lighting. Another nice event. I'm still always amazed at how many people we can fit in that park. Really nice. Our booth was visited quite often. And the fireworks show was quite long this year. Longer than even some people commented, wow, is this thing still going? I said, we like a good fireworks show in this town, so. And then let's see here, on December 3rd, I was here actually, at the third outreach meeting for the future community park in the ranch. It was another nicely attended event. Good to see the maps and the participation. It was well facilitated by the, can't think of what you call them, the people in charge of it.
Consultants.
Thank you, consultants. Thank you. So, and then that is all I have.
Okay, Director Mattis?
Secretary, yes.
Secretary Mattis.
Yes, I also attended the ranch community event. That was great. That was my first one, so it was nice to see that. Excited to see some of the different concepts they had to kind of make it unique to its own for that community. So it's going to be really nice to see when that comes to us here soon.
Should he be vice chair?
He's vice chair.
Vice Chair Lang.
Yeah, so I didn't have anything this month, just super busy. Family was sick, I was sick, unfortunately. But there has been, if I can mention something, there's been a lot of interest from the Rosemont Community Association and then even from the Rosemont community about opening up the Rosemont High School during the summer. And so I would like to ask if the staff could please do a report for the board next month about using the Rosemont High School pool during this upcoming summer.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be prepared with some scenarios and, times and programs that we could offer, and then the full board would decide how we would go about looking to fund that. So that would be a decision that we can bring to the January meeting and then have a good board discussion about it and then move in the direction. There are openings for, we believe that it starts January 1st, that Sacramento Unified School District opens up their rental program. So it's good timing, actually, for us to be able to reserve if that's what the board likes us to do. So,
Great, thank you.
That's right. No, that's something that the community of Rosemont would love us to do. Director Danzel.
Thank you, Chair Sloan. I did also attended the ranch meeting. That was the second of the third that I was able to attend. It was nice to get an update of what some of the concept, would look like, and it was nice that the community came out to see and ask questions. It's always great to have the community involved, and they've been involved in this one for a little bit, and things have changed over time. I think they've gotten better obviously as we've moved forward, and I cannot wait till we can get this park up and going. That's the end of my report, Chair Sung.
Okay, now it's my turn. On Sunday, December 1st, I attended the tree lighting event at Village Green Park, and it was sold out. I will tell you, it is sold out. And
Is this supposed to pay?
it was a nice evening. It didn't rain, which was kind of wonderful. And kudos goes out to the staff. Park looked beautiful. Everything out there was just in great condition. I thank everyone for that. On the 11th of December, I was out at the Rosemont Community Association Santa Parade. And I photographed that, and I take pride in doing that every year. And I do share those photographs on the Rosemont Post Facebook page if you guys want to see some of my photographs. But that's another event that I'd like to point out that I'd like to see more connection to for our district, because it's part of the community outreach, which was the next on the next day, the December 12th. Lincoln Village had their 10th annual Lincoln Village Neighborhood Christmas Parade, and unfortunately, it rained that night. And so, but I was still out there braving the weather with my trusty camera, and I photographed it and posted it on the Take the Lincoln Village page. And another chance for you guys to, see what was going on out there. It was still a well attended for what it could be. There weren't a lot of people on the streets, but there were people with umbrellas and a real heavy presence of city entities out there from the city of Rancho Cordova. And maybe someday we could have our brand out there, that same type of thing. I didn't go on the December 14th. I went on December 15th because December 14th it also rained, and that was the Sacramento Valley Live Steamer Santa train. The weather was pretty rough, windy. The same day as the Powell Run, it was windy and rainy. But I did come out there on Sunday, and I was thankful I did. I walked around the whole area with my camera and took great shots of the event. And so I haven't shared those yet, and I'd be happy to share some with the district for some we might want to post for some reason. The next one is I attended the holiday potluck on December 17th here at the district, and that was a fun thing to watch the Santa exchange gift white elephant thing, because there were some pretty interesting gifts. And, yeah. So anyway, that's about it. Thank you. I think we're done. So the next item on our agenda would be item J, comments by staff on non-agenda items.
Item J1, District-wide Monthly Progress Report, and I'll hand it over to General Manager Patrick Larkin.
Thank you, Shelby. All right, just a brief report from the past month. Staff attended the American Riverbank Protection Working Group Zoom meeting. It was quite a long one. It was more education based on where they are with the project. We have been notified that they are pushing the project out at least a year, or they'll be revisiting it in the fall of 2025. There were several questions that were asked from the public in this round, and as well as they're still expected to answer questions from the first round and second round of questions that they are owing back to some of the residents' concerns. So more to come on that. I will update the board when that comes forward in 2025. Also, attended the Ranch Development Third Community Outreach Meeting. We are looking to meet with the consultant actually tomorrow to find out when they're going to be ready for a conceptual design to come to the board for your guys' consideration. So we're either aiming for January or February, depending on their ability to pull together all of the costs associated to the designs that they're looking to propose for that. Matt and I met with S&P Global Ratings to review under the criteria observations. It's an application for us to apply for possibly an upgrade for the S&P Global rating. It was a lot of intensive budgeting, financing, and CIP reporting, so Matt did a fantastic job. It's always fun. Matt and I usually team up and get interviewed by this group. There's a lot of criteria and factors that go into that rating, and so we will report out in January what the results of that interview was. So we're excited and optimistic. Let's see. We also have been doing several interviews with staff. We had an interview panel for the golf course general manager position, and we're hopefully going to be making an offer next week or the week after, if not sooner. So there was a lot of great candidates that came out for that recruitment. We have narrowed it down, and so we'll be making an announcement on that in January. Also, Exploration Park and Rock Rose Park were accepted by the board. They were open to the public after last November's meeting. The developer is going to be helping us with the ribbon cutting and opening of those parks officially, and those will be done in the spring. We typically have the developers helping us with the event components with that, so they preferred a spring celebration versus battling the potential weather deterrence there. A EPA Brownfields grant program was applied for. The request is for $316,000. The request is focused on the center property, community park redevelopment and environmental revitalization program. Thank you for Andrew's efforts in putting that together. The application was submitted in November. We're looking to see if we get accepted for that first phase of funding. Those funds will be used to study the environmental impacts that are on that property. As you all know, it was an old shooting center and there is lead exposure, and so we need a thorough report on that to know what we're getting into in terms of mitigating that. The California Special Districts Association, we had met with them and they had talked about state legislation related to Quimby Parkland dedication requirements and development impact fees. So Laura and I met with them and talked about those recent passed legislation and how it will affect our district going forward. Laura has been amazing with future legislation that's being discussed at CRPD. So we will be working with them to craft some language to hopefully educate a little bit more about the Quimby Parkland dedications and laws associated with it instead of qualifying it as a utility. And so, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jill Nuns, the Parks and Recreation Director.
Thank you, Patrick. All right, we had several special events over the past month. Over at the golf course, the United Cerebral Palsy of Sacramento and Northern California, UCP, in collaboration with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, hosted Fishing in the City over at the Hagen Community Park. It was very successful. We are appreciative of our collaboration and our partnership with both of those agencies, and it looks like we're going to be doing several more of those types of events. So a huge thank you to UCP and the Fish and Wildlife and CRPD and their staff for making sure that we were able to offer this event to all ages and all abilities. Super proud of the staff, so thank you for that. On December 7th was the annual Breakfast with Santa over at the Neil Orchard Senior Activities Center. It was a sold-out crowd this year of 250 people, so super excited to know that people are still interested in that event. We had our tag members out there, Kiwanis Club, and of course Heather and all of the NOSAC staff, making sure that we fed the little tummies, and everybody had a really great time. So if you were able to show up and be a part of that, you got to see a whole bunch of happy faces. In recreation and in parks, this is a recreation and parks thing, on November 20th and the 21st, Both the CRPD Recreation Team and the CRPD Park Services Team spent their mornings at the Rancho Cordova Food Locker in service to those who were in need this holiday season. We were made aware that during that week, there's a high need for volunteers to help out. A lot of people come to the food locker to get their meals, not just their meals for Thanksgiving, but also for the month. And so I couldn't be more proud of our staff for taking time out of, their day to go over and help those in need. And I know the food locker appreciates it, and we're hoping that we can continue to be of service, not only to the food locker, but also to this community. So thank you, Park Services and Recreation, and the golf course, because Stephanie was there, and the golf course, for being a part of this special day. So thank you for that. Rocking and rolling with our junior basketball league. I'm so excited that this program continues to grow. We've got 145 kids this year participating in our junior NBA basketball league. The Cordova STEAM Preschool is putting to use our new 3D printer. I've got to get over there and try this thing. So if you ever get a chance and you want to stop by, let us know, and we can take a look at the 3D printer. But they were able to do some fantastic things with it over this past month. So thank you for your support in us being able to purchase that 3D printer. In aquatics, even though it's not aquatic season, we have a superstar amongst us. Nicole Lowry took a really hard course, which is the Certified Lifeguard Instructor Training. It's called Legit. It's pretty fun. It's LGIT, but I call it legit because I think it is pretty legit. And so she was able to obtain that full certification, which is really, again, a very hard test. So we're super proud of her. And so not only does that enable Nicole to train our staff, but it's also going to give us the opportunity for Nicole to train staff within our region as well, which that's pretty cool, pretty awesome. So Nicole, congratulations.
Yay.
Really great job. Awesome stuff. Park Services continues to be crazy busy. It's leaf season. We do not love leaf season, but it's leaf season, so they are working a lot with that. But we also want to announce that Arnolfo Sanchez, who has worked with the district for a long time, applied for and was able to get the Park Services Supervisor 2 position in sports fields, basically. So he's been in irrigation forever. So a huge loss from our team, but we're really proud of him. He is just 1 in a million, and he is just going to do a bang-up job as being the Park Services Supervisor 2. He'll be housed over at the Mather Sports Complex, and he'll be running that complex, helping out with the center as well as sports fields throughout the district. So yay for Arnie. Super excited for him. And then, like mentioned before, and I appreciate the shout out, but our staff did help out tremendously for the tree lighting at the Village Green. I know that, they get out there on their day off and help clean it up that morning as well. But they do the prep work beforehand, and their help out in the morning, and then, of course, the afterwards as well. But the CCC does do a great job of cleaning up afterwards, and we appreciate that, because then it takes a little bit off of our staff. But so a total team effort amongst everybody. So thanks for that. And then the board invite page is super tiny this month, but it is the Polar Bear Plunge is right around the corner.
Oh, Danny.
So. Saturday, July, geez, I wish it was in July. That would be amazing if it was in July.
Right.
It is Saturday, January 11th at 9 a.m. if anyone is interested in jumping into a really cold pool.
Costumes required?
Sure.
Encouraged.
We can talk about that.
Polar bear
Wetsuits,
plunge.
yeah, something.
Can I wear a dry suit?
Or maybe get to the pool a couple days early and put the heat on. That would be great too.
Maybe we can,
I think I still have a key. That would be awesome.
I would advise no one swim a lap. We did that last year, not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
jump in and get out.
Yes.
That's the
is there any
smartest
chance
thing.
we can heat the pool?
Yeah,
No.
it's fine when you're in.
It's just
but
an
getting
idea.
out that sucks.
Well, it wouldn't be polar then.
I've seen polar bears there.
It's the shock value.
It'd be like a polar bear in like Hawaii, right? I mean, we could just
right.
pretend we're there.
Exactly. It's,
All right. And then on the back of the invitation page, on page 200, is the 2025 calendar of events. It's our best shot at just pulling together the events that are happening throughout the community, from us, CRPD, from the community council, the Mermaids, as well as the city of Rancho Cordova, with some of their State of the Union, State of the City stuff. So with that, that concludes my report. And happy holidays to everyone. I hope everyone has a really nice holiday.
I don't know if you bypassed this or I didn't hear it, but I was really excited to read the marketing and communications projects that we've accomplished.
Okay. So, so throughout November, the Marketing Communications Department completed 24 graphic design requests, developed 1 publication, and collaborated on 9 projects. Staff also maintains the website to provide accurate and current information to the public. To further engage the public, staff maintains our social media platforms. And so this past month, the platforms included Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Nextdoor, and LinkedIn. Throughout November, staff posted 77 items during the month with 51,450 impressions. Those are engagements and links.
That's great.
The post of the month was CRPD staff volunteer highlighted staff for volunteering at the Rancho Cordova Food Locker. And then the staff also participated in 2 events, which was November 15th, the Rancho Cordova Business Resource Fair, and then on December 1st, the Cordova Community Council's Christmas tree lighting.
Thank you, Joe.
Have you captured your blue sky handle yet? That's the new.
We did secure a handle for it. We are not utilizing it at this time, but we did secure a handle.
I know.
I just want to
It's the new Twitter. or
Gotcha.
I want to thank the district for that, the whole social media blitz thing here that's going on. It's really, it's got a lot of people's attention, and I think we're doing a great thing there. And it's definitely something that, you say the engagements, I mean, that could easily double and triple and boom, all of a sudden, it's just everywhere. And it's all because of Shelby and her crew that's been doing that, and I want to thank them very heartily for their hard work and diligence.
Thank you.
Next, are we at K?
Yes. Item K1 is our articles, correspondence, and public outreach. This month, we have 2 newsletters, and item K2 is our CRPD calendar for December and January.
There's a new look to the calendar.
Okay. So, K2?
Yes, K2 is our CRPD calendar for December and January.
Very last. Go to the very bottom.
And that brings us to one item here at the end. I think it says item L?
Item L, adjournment.
L.
Yes.
Looks like an I.
Don't make us have to revote.
That's adjournment. So at this time, I'd like to adjourn this meeting until the regularly programmed meeting will be on Wednesday, January 15th. Same bat channel, same bat place, whatever, how that goes. And then we can move chairs, right?
Yes.
Chairs. Everybody have a happy holidays. And a safe New Year as well. Thank you.
Not bad.
Thank you, everyone.
Did you open our gifts now?
Yeah. Those are the gifts from the district to the board members.